I do what I want in this show. Zach, A24, Denzel Washington, Spike Lee. This episode and this conversation and this movie has been the biggest.
You like that, old man? You want a piece of me?
Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
You do. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
What up, film fans? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to episode 368. Welcome to Highest to Lowest. Welcome. You're listening to a new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Juan, and I am joined by the other guy, Zach.
What a perfect entrance. The other guy. Yeah.
Welcome, guys, ladies, and gents, wherever you're listening to. It is a extremely warm day for the last day of September here in Oklahoma City. It is Tuesday, September the 30th, 2025. We are coming to you at 7:30. If you're listening to this, or if you're watching us out there on Facebook Live or Emisawa Productions YouTube channel, welcome. This week we're talking an A24 movie, a Denzel Washington movie, and a Spike Lee film.
Sorry.
So that's what we're getting into today. We're also undressing our top 5 2025 movies for now.
So far.
This was kind of a hard list.
It was a hard list. I went back and forth. I just want to preface my top 5 as of this moment may not be the top 5 that I got when we do our review episode next year. So it's going to be interesting.
This is just a halfway mark, Zach.
I should have put The Smash Machine as number 1, but I haven't seen that movie yet. So
I haven't seen it yet either. I haven't even seen the new Leo movie.
Oh. So I'll just say for recent watches, I've seen one of the worst movies of the year and maybe one of the best movies of the year. So we'll see about that.
So have I.
Okay. I'm curious. Should we go ahead and get into it?
Let's get ready to get into her. If you guys did not join us last week, we had a fun conversation about the 30th anniversary of Casper. It is available now to listen to wherever you listen to podcasts. We are on iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Find us. Just search up the Cine-Men Movie Podcast, and you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. If you want to hit us up on the socials, social media is facebook.com/the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. You can also hit us up on X, Cinemen405, or you can email us at cinemen921@gmail.com. If you want to know all of my recent watches and personal stories, then follow me on Instagram at Cine-Men Movie Podcast, just like the Facebook page. Zach, let's dig into recent watches. I'll go ahead and swing on first and go rapid fire on mine. If you want to talk about them, please let me know. I ended last week with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think. No? Did I talk about that one?
Did you?
No, I didn't. So I rewatched Strange Darling for an episode of Friday the 14th.
Right.
Very, very, very good film. I dug through Child's Play 1 and 2, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 with Jessica Biel, Pride and Prejudice, first time watch with Keira Knightley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Ready or Not, that was a revisited film.
Mm-hmm.
Hocus Pocus, Y2K, and Highest to Lowest. Oh, and then I watched this piece of garbage called Dark Crimes with Jim Carrey.
I've never actually heard of that movie. So, did it come out this year?
Dark Crimes, it came out in 2016.
So 10 years next year.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you watch any more of or did you start watching Alien Earth?
No, I haven't. I need to.
Well, I'll just go ahead and go into mine. Alien Earth just had its season finale, so all the episodes are out, so you can binge watch it on Hulu.
That's what I'm going to do.
continuing on Stranger Things. I'm almost done with season 1. And then movie-wise, I went and saw A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, the Colin Farrell, Margot Robbie movie. That movie's getting a lot of hate, but I actually enjoyed it. It had a lot of good, like, moral messages to it. And then I'm probably going to get some hate mail, but you know what? I don't really care because I don't really know how you could defend this movie. Him, the new football horror movie, dude, it might be in contention for the worst movie of the year. It's so terrible. It's so bad.
Mm.
Which is kind of a shame because I will admit that Marlon Wayans, he actually gives a pretty good performance in this, but it's just, you know how you see like a terrible movie, but there's actually a bright spot where the actor actually gives a pretty good performance.
Is that not highest lowest?
No. But it's like that. It's just like his performance couldn't even save the movie. I really want to spoil it just to tell people not to go see it, but I'm not that type of person. So if you want to go spend $12 to go see it, I wouldn't recommend it, but go ahead.
Interesting.
And the other movie I saw was, speaking of Leo's new movie, One Battle After Another.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say I really wanted to come out saying that's may not be my favorite movie of the year, but it's one of the best. And I can't say that. There are a lot of good elements to it. Leo gives a very good performance. Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, all the actors and actresses. But I just didn't like, you remember how we talked about There Will Be Blood, and after you finish seeing that, it's like, I don't know if I ever want to rewatch that, but I can say that's one of the best movies I've ever seen. I couldn't say that for One Battle After Another, in my opinion.
I think that'll be an episode next year once it hits like maybe like physical media or something. I think that'd be a fun conversation to get into. So
Yeah,
that'll definitely be fun rewatch or watch.
I can say, judging by what a lot of people are saying, that it's now the front runner for Best Picture, and I don't know if I agree with that. So I really want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. Speaking of hearing our thoughts on some movies of 2025, we are about to get into our top 5. We are talking our top 5 movies of 2025 so far. What up? We are back. We are talking our top 5 movies of 2025 so far. Zach, do you want to rapid fire, or do you want to kind of talk about them as we go?
I'll rapid fire. If you want to talk about some of these, we can. I have 3 honorable mentions. I have Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Thunderbolts, or the new Avengers, and my official honorable mention is Jurassic World: Rebirth. Do you have any honorable mentions?
I do. I'm going to go with Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Lilo and Stitch, and Thunderbolts.
Nice. Yeah, if you want to talk about them a little bit, we can. Number 5 for me is Black Bag, the Michael Fassbender, Cate Blanchett, Steven Soderbergh movie.
Ugh.
You didn't like it? Well, you're wrong.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
But it just sounds like 2.5 hours of nonstop.
Dude,
Why is this movie still going?
It's an hour and 30 minutes. You're in and out.
Okay.
It feels like a throwback to classic Hitchcock thrillers and Hitchcock spy thrillers. It was a really cool theater experience, and it stuck with me since seeing it. You want to do your number 5, or you want to just go through mine?
I'll do number 5. Number 5 for me is going to be Fantastic Four.
Nice.
First Steps. I had some emotion watching the film. It made me laugh. It wasn't sitting there looking at your clock and thinking, when is this movie going to be over? The bad guy, Marvel again hit it on top of the head with a bad guy, a very good bad guy, and he kind of made it feel like a larger than life kind of attack. We had an entire episode on it back in July, so it was good enough to make my number 5. So this 5 for me is Fantastic Four.
You should have done that as number 4, and I would, tie it in together. I guess we'll do our classic old school top 5 because I don't know when we'll do another one after this time. Number 4 is 28 Years Later, now streaming on Netflix. Movie is fantastic. Like I've had the desire to rewatch it. I actually got the Blu-ray in that closet back there. Hasn't seen the light and I haven't opened it yet. I think it's a great setup for what is probably going to come for next year, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Fantastic characters, Anya Taylor-Joy, not Anya Taylor-Joy,
You wish.
Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and Ralph Fiennes, man. That's like, I just want to see his scenes again. He brings so much more life to that movie. But it's insanely rewatchable. And it feels different from the prior two. It just feels like a more better updated version of that universe, in my opinion. So 28 Years Later, number 4.
Number 4 for me is going to be a movie that just hit HBO Max. Superman. Another emotional driven superhero flick. This is usually, I don't have any kind of superhero movies in my top 5s. It's been a minute, but Superman to me just felt so important as far as an emotional, heart-driven story, and it was the perfect way to kick off the James Gunn film verse. Again, another episode we had a full conversation about. It was one of my biggest surprises of the year. I did not think I was going to go in and come out with that much emotion and that much thought into a superhero or Superman flick. So, man, that's number 4 for me is Superman. What about you?
Yeah, that's a great. I need to rewatch that. Like you said, it's on HBO Max now. Number 3. Depending on when it hits Apple TV, I think the Blu-ray comes out in November. We might have to open up the year with F1. Loved F1. It's so fun. I really wish you could have seen it in IMAX. It's such an experience. I will say that the story is it's a very typical sports movie, but the racing sequences are fantastic. It's from the director of Top Gun Maverick, so you are getting a lot of quality with this. And it kind of made me interested in F1 racing, honestly. Like it's that much fun of a movie. And Brad Pitt, man, he's been on a roll lately with this and Bullet Train and whatever else. I'm kind of glad to get Brad back. So that number 3 is F1.
Yeah, I can't wait. It for sure is going to be a January episode, so I can't wait to watch that. What are we on now? Number 3 already. Number 3 for me is going to be Mickey 17. Checked it out this past spring. Robert Pattinson had a phenomenal performance playing more than one person. And this feels like one of those movies that probably is going to get overlooked come award season, but it felt like one of those movies like Don't Look Up with Leo, to where you have all the star power and it's a unique story, but just not a lot of eyes probably got on it.
Yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to rewatch it. And there it sets number 3 right now.
I feel like 10 years from now, that's going to be like a cult classic. Like, oh, you remember Mickey 17? Like, oh yeah. I feel like it's going to be one of those type movies. Number 2, in theaters right now. I saw it, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Number 2 is The Long Walk. Loved it. I really can't wait for you to see that one too. That movie's hour and 45 minutes. You're in and you're out. It's a simple concept, and it makes you think. It has a lot of good messaging to the movie, which you would never think about kids getting brutally murdered in a sci-fi thriller type film. Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, who was in Alien Romulus, gives another great performance. I think that's an actor to look out for. And freaking Mark Hamill as the general. What more do you need? Luke Skywalker killing kids, which is there a reference to that? But no, it's a great adaptation. And it's based off a Stephen King book. So it's still in theaters right now. If you haven't had a chance to go see it, go check it out. What's your number 2?
Man, number 2 for me is going to be Sinners. Talked about another movie that we talked about this year, and it was just, I watched it by mistake 3 times that weekend. But rewatchability is big with me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can see something 2 times or 3 times and it's just fantastic and I find something new that I like about it, whether it be the score, the characters, the horror aspects, the old school feel to it, the thug Capone kind of feel for certain things too. You just have different emotions in one film. And yeah, again, a whole episode that we did on it. Number 2 for me so far. What about number 1 for you?
Number one is going to be number two. Sinners. It still hits all the right places. It's still my favorite movie of the year so far. Dude, if if this film, if there's no nominations for this, I don't understand it. You can give it to Michael B. Jordan, you can give it to Ryan Coogler, the director, cinematography, the music, production design, the costumes. It's everything you want. Like if you're gonna do like a brand new franchise or just like a new concept for it, well, a similar concept that's done before but just updated. I think this is a perfect example of that. It's been a great year for horror movies. I mean, honestly, this Weapons, Final Destination. I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head, but like it's just been a really good steady year for horror, and I feel like we haven't had that in some time. So, Sinners is number one. What is your number one of the 2025 so far?
My number 1 is Warfare. On the edge of my seat the entire time. It's one of those movies that the score and the soundtrack gives you anxiety throughout the film, the heart and the emotion of war, the sad look on people's faces, the pain that they go through. It's very, very short. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I love war movies. And I'm like, I went in this movie with no expectations. The only expectation was it was an A24 film. And I walked out just, especially seeing this in a theater with the traps and the bombs going off and stuff, when every single second it's like using a jump scare tactic against you, and it's a fantastic film.
Yeah, that is a great movie, and that's also on HBO Max's right now as well. I also forgot other horror movies: Drop, The Monkey, Companion. I know a lot. I think you and Jay really liked Companion, so
yeah,
it's been a pretty good year so far. And let's go and talk one of the new releases of the year.
Today we are talking about Highest to Lowest, the brand new A24 film directed by Spike Lee, starring Denzel Washington. Currently, right now on IMDb, it's at a 5.6 out of 10, and 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 73% Metascore, and a 2.9 out of 5 on Letterboxd. With a $1.5 million box office score, I think the budget for this film was $3 million. This also didn't make its budget back because this was also a Apple TV technically exclusive, if you will. With a release date going to theaters, I believe, on September the 5th, 2025. And then Zach, it hit Apple TV on the 25th of September.
Had a theatrical release August the 15th, like a very brief, wide release, and then it hit Apple TV September the 5th.
Okay, there we go. So, starring Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, Letitia Hedera, A$AP Rocky, Aubrey Joseph. Written by Evan Hunter, based on the book King's Ransom by Ed McBain, directed by Spike Lee. Zach, you said you saw this in theaters. What was it like in theaters with the theater setting? And then what was it like revisiting it for the podcast?
Yeah, got to check this out. It only had like a 2-week theater release, which that's a whole nother conversation. I think my general thoughts about this kind of stays the same with my theatrical watch. The theatrical watch, sitting in the theater, watch it. It gave a much more tense experience watching it. And then while at home, even though I knew what was coming, I still had like a thrill to it. So I've seen this twice. I still think I think this is a very good film. But I'm more interested to see what you think. This is your first time watch. What is you? I know this is three of your favorite things: A24, Denzel, and Spike Lee. What do you think about it?
Man, real talk, I was highly disappointed in this film.
Oh no.
Yeah, where can I start? I'm just gonna start off from the top. It disappointed me in the score when it comes to an A24 ransom flick. I
Mhm.
wanted something edge of my seat. I wanted something that was going to give me anxiety. This score for me, Aesop Rocky, don't get me wrong, he did a good job. But I'm talking about the background score. It made me feel like I was watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood explain to people, hey, look, this is how you build peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in a factory. That background music when he's delivering the money or when he's just delivering anything, it's laughable. And then I'm going down the list and I'm like, the story is all over the place. It doesn't know if it wants to be a novel based off of King's Ransom, or it doesn't know if it wants to be a look who done it. This could be an ending where Denzel's in on the ransom.
Mhm.
So the story was leading me three different ways when I know there's only one ending because of the book. The side characters, besides Jeffrey Wright and Denzel Washington, I cared about absolutely nobody in this movie. There was no character development for the wife, for the boys, and really hardly any character development for Jeffrey Wright's character, who I was appalled by. I was super fascinated between the chemistry of Denzel and Jeffrey Wright right off of the bat. And then due to the story and the lack thereof and the character development between the two, it kind of just fades away into the non-existence of Jeffrey Wright going back and forth with Denzel after the ransom was taking place. Um, and then I'm sitting here trying to think of the positives. I'm like, Denzel Washington's performance. It was a big positive, brother, but I'm like, who wrote the dialogue for Denzel? Because I felt like it was just lacking something. Denzel usually can have a speech or two in a movie and it just lifts you up or it lifts up that film. But Denzel's dialogue in this was just kind of bland. But if I had to sit there and just, I was really disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at user reviews on IMDb, and it a lot of people are on the same boat as you. Everyone thought it was really bad. Denzel couldn't save this, but the biggest thing about why people don't like this was the score. Like everyone thought the score was awful.
And don't get me wrong, if you have an awesome guy like Denzel playing, the good guy, or who what we are to believe is going to be the good guy, ASAP Rocky as the guy who's the kidnapper, and the motive is almost, hey, I'm a target security guy going after a sheriff. Like there was hardly any big motive other than what he wanted to become famous.
Yeah.
So
it ultimately, I get what you're saying. Literally the whole deal with the ransom is that he sent Denzel or David King, is that the character? Yeah, David King, a crap.
While you're thinking of that, let me kind of describe it. I didn't even read off the synopsis, if you will, but the synopsis to this film: when a Titan music mogul is targeted with a ransom plot, he is jammed up in a life or death morale dilemma situation.
A demo tape. He sends him a demo tape and basically rejects it, and that's like the whole point of his plot to kidnap the kids.
And Well, and I believe in the trailer makes you seem like it's Denzel's direct kid who's getting abducted,
Yeah,
almost like Ransom with Mel Gibson back in the day.
yeah. The trailer is very misleading.
Yeah.
Like in the first I don't know 30 minutes, Denzel gets his kid back, and it's like this whole subplot with Jeffrey Wright's son, which actually is like that actor is actually his son in real life, which is kind of funny. But that's like the whole you're led to believe that Denzel's kid is being kidnapped, and that's what the whole point of this movie is. And 30 minutes in, the kid's back, and it's just all about getting his friend's son back. And I didn't really, I'll be honest, I didn't mind that. I like that there was a different twist to it. Just when you're going in expecting one thing and you got something else, I kind of enjoyed that with this. So
I enjoy that too. But I kind of just feel like the delivery wasn't on point.
yeah. You say that there's a lot of, I'll say that the first, and I felt this way in the theaters, the first 24 minutes until we get the first ransom call, I was kind of like, oh no, are we in for kind of a slow burn type of film? But then when the ransom call hits, the movie, in my opinion, the movie takes off.
Well, see, I'm kind of in the opposite. I'm like, okay, we're starting off heavy with the Denzel dialogue opening with his son.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna get good stuff. As long as it's a Denzel dialogue slow burn leading into something, I'm like, I'm all for it. Talk slow to me, Denzel. Talk to me. and then we get into the situation, and it kind of, to me, yes, it picks up business wise as far as it being busy and okay, some action's getting going. But as far as what I'm tuning in to see Denzel be at his absolute acting best, it kind of falls off. You don't even get to hear his conversation at first with the ransom person on the telephone.
You just hear that their son's been kidnapped, and yeah.
And then so even the conversation with the wife on the balcony, you're getting into that Denzel love deep dialogue. You think there's some good stuff about to pop off,
Yeah.
And then again, she goes away, the phone call that you can't even hear, and boom. So it does pick up dramatic wise and what's going on next wise. But to me, the movie never really picked up as far as Denzel getting in that good Denzel dialogue.
I feel like
Spike Lee was, I'm not wanting to call a man lazy, but I just feel like this movie it felt rushed. This could have been a John Q or a Training Day kind of deliverance. Instead, you're getting highest to lowest. And I had a hard time thinking about when the last time was that I watched a Denzel movie that I was completely bored by, unimpressed with.
Yeah.
And if I got to put this up against the Bone Collector gets a half of a point nod.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, okay, so I did not expect this conversation to go the way it's going. I thought we'd be on here praising it and all this and that. So
I wanted to, dog. Believe me, I wanted to. I turned on this movie, the old school music opening, the city of New York City being a character as Spike Lee does it.
mm-hmm.
I'm getting excited for the movie. I'm getting pumped. I'm like, this is about to be on this list we're talking about in a few days, the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just
how you feel right now is how I felt about One Battle After Another. You had so much anticipation for it, and you're just like, really? That's what we're doing?
The way you explained that movie, I'm like, dude, he just stole all my notes for highest to lowest.
Oh, man.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Let's go in. Let's talk about some positives that you want to throw into the film, and I'll kind of talk to you. But my biggest negative is the score when the score is supposed to be giving you anxiety.
Well, you see, to me, I knew we were gonna
elevator music.
It was much more classical, and I think the opening title sequence with the Broadway melody, I think that set the tone for the rest of the movie score wise, because it's not going to be like a typical Spike Lee joint score, if that makes sense. This is going to be something different. The whole concept of the movie is like people saying that Denzel has the best ears in the business.
Correct. And I applaud that. And I wouldn't mind actual, real, classical music.
But that's not what this is, though.
But yeah, exactly. That's not what this is at all. This isn't even something new or provocative. This is a made-up score, and it's completely just. I felt like I was watching an OETA special about how like rubber cones are made or something.
Yeah,
when you go back and you look at the filmography of Spike Lee and Denzel, or just Spike Lee by himself, one of the absolute best things that you can say about Spike Lee in any of his movies is the score / soundtrack, the cinematography, and the dialogue. And I'm sorry, but 1 out of 3 in this movie for me just wasn't cutting it. And the cinematography was even iffy.
Well, the cinematography is very much it does have the classic trademark sequence of Spike Lee where, someone's like the lead detective, he's talking about the plan, and it's like I call it the treadmill sequence where he's coming forward, but he's staying still, but the background is like moving with him. There are moments of that, and there are moments of I think we talked about it in Malcolm X, maybe, where he shoots a scene and then like the next like beat, it's the same sequence at a different angle. What that makes like like Denzel and Jeffrey Wright will shake hands, but it's like then it's like immediately on a different angle of the camera or from the room.
Yeah.
So there is that. I think Jeffrey Wright did a very good. I think Denzel. I think some of the positives is Denzel, Jeffrey Wright, and A$AP Rocky, which I've never thought in a million years. I would say that. You say that there's no like classic Denzel dialogue sequences. I think there are 2. I think there's the one where he's contemplating raising his office, his reputation versus paying the ransom, and it kind of was it almost like reminded me of a throwback to the sequence in The Hurricane where he's like in his jail cell and he kind of has like this, like, I call it the Gollum Smeagol, where he's talking to himself, but he wants to be the villain, but he knows he's trying to be the hero in this situation. Yeah. And then the ending where it's like Young Felon versus David Cross, where they're like in the music studio. I think that one was like really well written and acted. Of why are you doing this? Who loved you? You don't care about me. You're washed out. I think that was like, that might be the best scene of the movie, in my opinion.
When they're in the music box.
Yeah. So
I have 2 scenes as well that I think saves this movie for me, and even once slimly of a chance that makes me want to go back and rewatch it, besides Denzel being Denzel. But the 2 scenes for me are when he is discussing about buying the other person's share of the label, and discussing that. And then the other part is at the end when he goes to see A$AP Rocky through the plate glass window, and they have the conversation with the phone.
It's almost like a rap battle just through dialogue.
Yeah, but it's also where, to me, the story could have dramatically changed if you wanted to not maybe put Denzel in on this, but the movie does do a good job of putting Denzel's faith and putting Denzel's trust. It could go one of 2 ways. He could either not pay the ransom and go about it that way, and then I also thought maybe it was going to be a dirty movie to where Denzel is in on the ransom, to where he gets the ransom money, or somehow, I don't know, to where
he was in on it the whole time.
Yeah, especially when I saw that Denzel's kid was released. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, he's something's fishy is going on here.
Yeah.
So,
No, I mean, do you think that would have made it a better movie if there was like some big twist by the end, like halfway through?
no, I don't think that would have made it help any. Maybe the only reason I had a problem with the story is because it was flirting around 3 or 4 different ways,
Yeah.
and then
It didn't really
and then
stick to the thing.
yeah, and then the payoff was almost again 2 or 3 different endings.
Yeah.
I feel
Oh,
like the movie could have ended when he fist bumped Jeffrey Wright in the hospital.
yeah.
I feel like the movie could have ended after the plate glass window scene, and then you get the original ending where he gets introduced to the girlfriend of the son, who is really talented, who you hear at the beginning of the movie. But then this ending kind of didn't make sense any way either, because he had just got done getting his son, and you might as well say his nephew abducted, and here you are letting a strange person into your house.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you. I think that the ending could have been him fist bumping Jeffrey Wright, or because this movie's 2 hours and 13 minutes.
It
There was a
doesn't need to be
lot.
that long.
No, I think we could have cut this down to maybe an hour and 45 minutes and still got the same plot. Instead of showing, there are 2 music videos in this movie, which I had no idea going in, was the ASAP Rocky when he's held up in the jail cell, that random sequence, and then the girlfriend. I think we could have cut the rap video out, which I think is the worst part of the movie, that we didn't need that. And then him letting the girlfriend have her audition. It should have been, "Are you ready to get to work?" And she says yes, and it cuts to black. Or he said, "Are you ready to get to work?" and it cuts to black. And it's like, we get it. He's starting his new label.
Yeah.
The other thing I kind of like, what the chase sequence where like he's meeting or either on the train, but it's like it does this weird cut back to like the Puerto Rican parade. What does that have to that's like a classic Spike Lee thing where he just randomly does something like that. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Is that just like the setting he wanted to put the chase in?
Yeah, see that kind of. I know it's a big year, and it has been a big moment for. Maybe the film was being filmed during an actual parade or something. But I do enjoy that Spike Lee does throw his nods out to whoever deserves it and what's going on in the world today.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just that scene included, and then the chase scene on the motorcycle was just kind of. I don't know, man. It just kind of left me icky and wanting more.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I really enjoy this. I enjoyed the Mayhem Allstate commercial guy being the douchey cop, because I don't know why we needed that, but okay. I enjoyed the internal dialogue of Denzel saying like, $17 million is a lot of money. It's not even my kid. Do I really want to give that up? But on the flip side of, because of the world we live in with social media, you will be branded as a villain and your whole career will end. I liked that aspect of the movie. I even liked the chase sequence the chase sequence at the end with Denzel chasing ASAP Rocky when it ends up on the train. That was kind of a cool. I thought it was a cool little nod to Collateral in a certain way, but not much to it.
Yeah, but those are my kind of big positives for the movie. At least is Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, and then the ending window sequence where they're talking on the phone through the plate glass window.
Yeah. Well, man, I was not expecting this conversation. I thought we were going to be all praise and glory, but no, which is good because I'm glad we can still have conversations where it's just like, oh, I know exactly what Johnny's going to give this movie, but that really was a twist to it. So, so this is not one of your favorite Spike Lee movies.
No, man, I had it was a little little rough.
Here's the moral dilemma: if it comes out on Criterion or something, are you going to buy it to add to your Denzel collection?
Oh yeah, of course.
I may never watch it again, but I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, well, you know that happens.
So, so I guess your biggest negative is it the score? It just did not flow well at all.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't like the flow. Like I said, the characters. So.
well, and I'm going to be honest. This is not one of Denzel's likable characters. Like, there were moments in the movie where I'm just like, you know what the right choice. You have money. You know what the right choice is. Just do it. You know, you can probably collect that in like another recording session. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Sorry.
Folks, he did not like this movie. You want to do favorite scene?
Those are my two favorite scenes. The scene at the beginning where when he's talking about his legacy and what he wants to buy the other half of the music label, and then the plate glass window scene at the end. What about you?
Where he's in his office talking about his legacy, the music, not album, recording session with Denzel and ASAP. That was really good. And to do a little something different, I'll say Jeffrey Wright kind of pleading with David about like trying to give up the ransom to save his son. I thought that was well acted by Jeffrey Wright. Are we ever going to give Jeffrey Wright an Oscar, by the way?
Jeffrey Wright does deserve a lot of recognition, especially for this movie. His work in the Batman, his work in the James Bond films, the movie he did last year that was nominated for Best Picture.
Yep.
One of my favorite movies of the year of last year. And yeah, so Jeffrey Wright, don't get me wrong, Denzel's great, but he is toe to toe just as good as Denzel in this film.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
Star rating. I'm gonna go with a 2.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know, I was really fighting what I wanted to do between a 1.5 and a 2, and I think Denzel and Jeffrey Wright both get a star for me, so that's the 2. And if it wasn't for one or the other, this movie could be a little bit lower than expected. So I'm giving this a 2.
I'm gonna give it a 4, man. I don't know. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Maybe it was seeing it in the theatrical setting. I was able to catch a little bit more of the plot on the second rewatch, which is kind of enjoyable. But it's not rewatchable. I've seen it twice now and be like, okay, I'm good. If I never see it again, I'm good. So, but hey, you lose some, you win some, you lose some, and this is one I think we kind of lost. We're kind of mixed on. So,
yeah, which it's okay.
I just know you have. I think when you get a project, Denzel Washington, Spike Lee, I think there's a certain amount of, even though I'm not a Spike Lee person, or he's not one of my favorite directors, I think there is like a certain amount of quality you expect from that, and it just didn't deliver on your end, I think.
Yeah.
But guys, it's time. September's over, believe it or not. We are on to October, and October is spooky season around here. So what are we talking about next week?
Next week, October the 8th, no, October the 7th, we're discussing Fright Night 2011. So don't forget to check that out. The week after that, October the 14th, we are talking about Texas Chainsaw Next Generation. Zach, the week after that, which is going to be October the 21st, we are talking about A24's The Monster. And then we finish out October 28th with Frankenstein. So it's going to be a fun Frankenweenie. There you go. We could have talked Frankenstein, but
oh yeah, the Guillermo del Toro version.
Yeah, but now we're talking this. It's a little fun conversation. We can talk about maybe both of them, but
That's my
yeah,
pick. That was my pick for this month. I'll just go ahead and preface saying that this is one of my favorite Halloween movies. So, and I'm really looking next week. I'm really looking forward to Fright Night because I think that's going to be that'll be a fun conversation and comparing to the remake to the original.
yeah. And then the week after, it'll probably be like a Texas. It'll probably be a highest to lowest episode. I can't wait to see how bad of a rating you give this movie. That's in 2 weeks, folks. But like Zach said, next week, another new episode live.
Well, and depending on what happens that weekend, you might be giving that movie a bad review as well. So we'll just see.
That's true. OU Texas is before that episode, so that is funny. I might hate everything with this name Texas in it, but that's what Zach said. That's what I say. And don't forget, join us next week for another new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast.